I would always say, feeling ko naloko ako ng Instagram. So loving photos with great lighting. And then when I became a mom, I was like, it doesn't look anything like this. Yahoo! Happy Mother's Day, Riki and Andi and Del.
Happy Mother's Day!
Thank you so much, mamas, for your time. It's so nice to see you three together again on screen. I asked you earlier, what was the last episode airing of the Mother Show?
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
What I remember from me was that I left 2019 June. So we must have wrapped it up around March or April of that year. Yeah, that I remember. So it's been a while, and the pandemic since we all got together. This is the first time, actually.
Yeah, this is true.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so honest that you all said yes. Yeah. I'm so kidding.
Yeah.
Of course, this is a Mother's Day special, and I'll tell you a bit of a backstory of why I wanted to invite you three. So I remember when I gave birth to my first, I would always say, feeling ko naloko ako ng Instagram. Kasi on Instagram, it's all like parang so loving photos with great lighting. And then when I became a mom, I was like, it doesn't look anything like this. And so for this Mother's Day, I know that the pandemic, of course, has caused a different level of ganun naman, of moms comparing each other to what they see on social media. And I always loved the Mother Show because you were just so real in making kwento talaga, the ugly and not so Instagrammable side of motherhood. So today I wanted to talk about mom's breaking point.
I think it's just that Instagram we don't know it, but we're actually performing. And so when we perform, we're kind of like, where you have to project, I don't know, maybe maging loving, more nurturing, strong, hands-on. Ito yung mga goals ngayon when it comes to motherhood. Once people feel like, oh no, everyone's feeling this about motherhood, napapressure sila na kailangan ganun din yung experience nila. And I think all of us, ang pinaka-Mother Earth dito actually, si Andy. Kahit kami, minamother niya nung Mother Show, right, Ricky?
Yeah.
For me, the breaking point would have been, coming over here. When we were in the Philippines, syempre, ang dami mong help. For example, you have a driver, you have yayas, you have your family, you have everybody you need. And then you come over here and it's all you. It's all you. So before we left in the Philippines, I would wake up before the yaya actually and cook breakfast for my kids. But even if I were doing that, I knew that she's there. It's an option. So kung may araw na ayokong gumising, bumangon, pwede, diba? But here, it's like, no, you're feeling bad? Nuh-uh, you gotta work.
Yeah.
And it's not just that, it's the mundane tasks. It's the tasks that nobody claps about. When you sing a great song, reach a high note, the world notices. When you clean your kid's butt, nobody claps, maybe your kid. But imagine all of that and then extend it through years. If a woman is not aware, talagang magbe-breaking point siya. Parang sino ba ako? Di ba ako si Andy, si Ricky, si Bianca, si Del. Pero ngayon parang ang title mo, Yaya all around. My experience is when I start snapping at the kids, I know I'm not in a good place. And I've gotten better at catching myself.
You're so right in that you have to learn how to catch yourself. But that's easier said than done. So what do you do when you medyo alam mo na?
This has taken quite a while, but I'm so happy that I learned the skill of this. So sometimes mapapasigaw talaga ako, Cooper, can you please? I'm able to see it kasi hindi ako ganyan magsalita sa kanila. So once that happens, naririnig ko yung boses ko, Cooper, wait. Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped at you. Mom's still right, but I shouldn't have said it that way. I'm very sorry. Can you leave me to do my chores and we'll talk later? This seems to work with my kids.
For you and all the moms like you who do everything, man, wow, really. Wow, talaga. Super mom.
I have so much stories. I don't know where to begin or where to start. But you know what? I guess it's more like Del. This second ECQ was tougher for me. much tougher. I guess kasi parang the first one, you're nangangapa, diba? Your first, you hear nangangapa, you're still trying to figure it out. But then the second one, which was recently lang, diba? Like a few weeks ago, it just hit me harder because parang, I don't know, like my patience was shorter, and parang me and my husband, parang we were always clashing. So, and I think my breaking point lang talaga, it's really like, Del, when you feel like you're doing everything and you don't
Yeah.
need to feel like, you don't have someone to like write down all the things you've done for them just to say they appreciate you. But sometimes you need to you need to hear it from people that you love or your husband or even sometimes from your kids, diba? I mean, sometimes just a little like, thanks mom for breakfast. I'm just like, oh, you noticed? Even if I make for you every day. So I feel
Yes.
like sometimes you find it even on Instagram, diba? Sometimes it's like like a little, like a 2-second feel good comment about
Right.
yourself, But sometimes you kind of need those things because like right now, and it's so nice to like talk to you moms because I only just talk to my mother-in-law and my mom, and just to be able to, just to see you guys face to face already is like
Right.
such a big relief, right?
Yes.
Because parang you've been feeling all alone for a long time.
Right.
And
You come back to your people, right? You come
yes,
back to your people.
Aw.
You have to have this set of people where,
Mhm.
parang without even saying anything, nagkatinginan lang kayo, naiintindihan niyo
Alam
yung
mo na!
alam mo na yun.
Alam mo na!
Gosh, you know what? That's true. That little appreciation goes a long way.
I think mine is very similar as well to Andy's since we were both in lockdown here in the Philippines, diba? And I was having this conversation with my husband who parang I was feeling a little off in the middle of everything. So it's been what, a year plus days diba, of the pandemic and everything. I was like, it's weird pala if you stay at home all the time and your language is children. Like your language is child rearing. Alam mo yon, parang nakakabobo din siya pala at the end of the day if you don't have a serious conversation with another intellectual human being. Alam mo yun, naka-level mo. Who am I even? Like, what do I
Yep.
do in life? What are my skills and my goals? All of a sudden, I'm here explaining all of these basic things, trying to sort of grow up with the younger
Right.
human that you're raising. So it can push you to a breaking point if you're just at home.
We have very public jobs. You have this expectation in your mind that when you do a great job, people tell you, "Oh, good hosting. Oh,
Yeah.
I know that was really a good show." And
Yeah.
your self confidence in not the mom, it's the Del, the Ricky, Bianca, and
Yeah.
Andy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the part of you that's lacking. Because motherhood is a great gig. We all know that, right? It's one of the best gigs you'll ever do in your life. But there's a part of the individual woman that gets hindi naman erased it, because if you think of it that way, you'll resent it. You kind of lose sight of that woman that you had known for more than a decade. And then all of a sudden you retreat, you have a baby, and it's all about that for years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Years
so
ba?
Years.
Years!
Siguro I just like to add was the shock that I felt when I had my second. Kasi after one little human being needing you and only you all the time, now there's two human beings that need you and only you all the time. I think my second was a few months old, and then I was giving my panganay a bath. And then she was being particularly difficult that day. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. While I was trying to give her a bath, she was being difficult, and then the baby was crying in her room. Talagang yung talagang full volume.
Yes.
Na parang alam mo kung ano nangyayari. I remember it was the first time that I really shouted at my daughter. I said, Lucia! And then it's really like a monster mom face, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can still remember it vividly, the way her face changed. Yung parang,
Yes.
mom can turn into this.
Mm.
And then like you, Del, I remember immediately like the remorse. Parang I said
Yeah.
sorry. And I was giving her a bath. So it was so cinematic kasi I said sorry right away. I cried, she cried, the baby's crying. Tapos yung shower,
In the shower.
kami pareho. Tapos nag-aakapan kami nag-iiyak.
Basang-basa sa ulan ng dating.
But I guess these are the stories that we will look back at when the wave ebbs and
Yeah.
we'll say, Yeah, we did a good job.
Parang you have to hit that level, no? That level of screaming and
Ay,
terror in their
nako.
eyes for you to realize that you really have to catch yourself sometimes. Like that's the only way you're gonna be able to catch yourself if you know how horrible it is to actually do that.
I don't really think of it as a bad thing to show children,
Mm.
especially when you exhibit one, you catch yourself. That's very
Mm.
important. Second, I think it's good for them to know that there are limits, even to the person who loves you the most.
Mm.
And so they now understand how to read cues. Pag ganito ang body language ni mommy. Of course, it doesn't happen that way, but instinctively,
Yeah.
they understand. Contrast is such a good thing to teach our children. Because if we
Yeah.
just give them all the happiness every time in their lives, they won't be strong. They also need to see you fail because how you handle the failure, that also gives them the idea na, when mama fails, she will cry a little bit. She'll try again tomorrow. And that failure is not the defining moment of our lives. And sometimes kids, kasi when we don't show them our failures, when they finally fail, they feel like they've broken something and it cannot be repaired. And we don't want that for our children.
Grabe
Wow.
naman!
Well said.
Kasi tatlo tsaka 9 years na akong nanay.
Well said.
That was so
Tapos
beautiful,
nag-migrate ka pa.
Del.
Yes.
Oo,
Was.
grabe. Well,
Miss na miss ko
mamas,
kayo.
grabe. Thank you. I
Aw.
super enjoyed listening to all your stories. You know what this kwentuhan felt like? It felt like a hug. It felt like a
Good.
much
Yeah.
needed hug from another mom na parang, ako din. At okay lang yan. Yeah. So super thank you, Ricky, Andy, and Del. Again, happy Mother's Day to us.
Happy Mother's Day, guys.
Mother's Day.
This was fun.
Hey, supers! I hope you enjoyed that episode. And to all the moms watching this, again, happy Mother's Day. I super enjoyed the kwentuhan with Ricky and Andy and Del. And the full kwentuhan, naku, napakadami pa niyan. As always, will be up on the podcast Monday night at 11 p.m. So please do share the episode with your mom or maybe you have a friend who is a mom. Kasi for sure, makaka-relate sila talaga and they'll pick up a lot of things. And speaking of the podcast, aside from Monday nights, I also drop a new episode every Thursday at 4 p.m. So these are usually solo episodes or kwentuhan episodes. So you can stream and follow Paano Ba To, the podcast for free, exclusively on Spotify. Usually people do it when they're doing chores or about to sleep or working out. So yeah, I do hope you can follow the podcast. And also, I don't know if you remember, but a few months back, I was telling you about a few things I've been working on for Paano Ba To. So of course, that was the podcast. That was also the Paano Ba To private Facebook group. Please do join in case you haven't yet. And the third one is actually out. And it's that, Paano Ba To? Well, I am now on TikTok! I never thought that this day would come. But yes, I am on TikTok at I am Super Bianca. Not to dance, but just to share bits of Paano Ba To more people, specifically Gen Z. And also, I'm sharing a few hosting and speaking exercises in case you're interested in that. So that's it. I will see you all again next week. Till then, supers, please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay well.